most intense, thrilling, electrifying sport on the planet. Mixed martial arts. You've been looking for the definitive podcast to call your new home to hear everything about it. The search is over. This is the MMAnomaly Show. No filter. Bringing you the hottest MMA breakdowns straight from the heart of the octagon. This show is all about MMA breakdowns. For fans, by fans. We're talking UFC, MMA, and the occasional big boxing match. We'll bring our unique take on how these fights are going to play out and who we think are the best bets. Welcome to the MMAnomaly Show. No filter. And now your hosts, Olin, a.k.a. MMAnomaly, and Emiliano, a.k.a. Jive Turkey Nano.
What is up, fight fans? Welcome back to another episode of the MMAnomaly Show. I'm your host, Olin, a.k.a. MMAnomaly, and with me, as always, is the co-host with the most, Jive Turkey Nano, folks. Whoa. Which way is he? There he is. How we doing, Jive Turkey?
Over here somewhere. I'm dodging and ducking like a little Jive Turkey. I'm doing great, my brother. Great to see you. Sun's out, guns out, it looks like for you. Over here in Arizona, it was finally over 90. So all is well, my brother. The summer is upon us, and so is some violence, my brother. Great to see you. And great to break it down. I know all y'all in the chat were excited that, we're here. Sorry we're late. I say we. It was mostly me. I was caught up in some house chores. Half of the power's still out. I got a bone to pick with a new light fixture, but that's a different story, y'all. Great to see you. What up, Klaus the Boss? What up, Ms. Mary? What up, Leroy? Great to see you all. And if you're here, if you're familiar, you know the drill. Like. If you're new, subscribe. And if you really fancy us, smash the bell for notifications, baby. Let's go. Let's dive on in, baby. Come on.
Let's go, folks. Always happy to be back here to break down some more fights for you all. And with that being said, let's go ahead and jump right on in to UFC Vegas 103. And like Nano said, before we do, come on. Leroy, Miss Mary 616, Klaus the Boss. We appreciate each and every one of you guys being here. Klaus said, poop smear a card. It might be a poop smear of a card, but it ain't going to be a poop smear of a show. I can promise you that, my friend. We're going to do our best to hype it up. And even if it's a bland, bad cut of beef right now, we are going to do our best to marinate it and serenade it. So that way, when we serve it to you, it's a delicious cut. And Lane, welcome back to the chat, my friend. Always happy to see you here as well. So yeah, let's jump right on into the very bottom of the card. Folks, we have a bout between Montana De La Rosa coming in against Luana Carolina in the women's flyweight division. And by the way, folks, just so you don't miss, the fights do start at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time this week. So make sure you are on your P's and Q's. It is a bit of an early card. Hate for you to miss any of these incredible fights that we do have coming up on Saturday. Nano, I'm going to let you take the lead on this stunning women's flyweight fight.
Stunning is absolutely right. And I think you were talking about the Montana De La Rosa. Great name. Light on the eyes as well. And listen, man, she's going in against a savage of a fighter here in Luana Carolina. Listen, man, Luana's coming in on a 3-fight win streak, and she's the slight favorite here. This tough Brazilian, 31 years old, 11-4 record. And then you got again, our girl Montana, as French Montana would like to say, did have a little bit of a skid over the last few years, but she most recently did beat our girl Andrea KGB Lee. That's a tough one, little sore subject there. I know. But listen, man, I mean, those losses, when you peel back the onion a little bit here against Montana, I mean, she's going up against the who's. One of those was a Tatiana Suarez who fought for the championship recently. Lane, before I keep going in here, what up, Lane, bringing the pain? What could be more exciting than a women's mixed martial arts flyweight scrap? Well, you know what, my brother, I mean, the pace of, if anything, right? And I know poop smear was mentioned earlier. If that's a form of poop as in shit, and it's gonna be the shit in a good way, I'm trying to flip that. Come on, we flipping the script around here. But no, man, all jokes aside, the thing with Montana is she has a lot of experience here in the UFC as well. I mean, against Tatiana, she beat a Rachel Ostovich way back when. That's a good throwback. If you know, you know. But listen, man, I think I'm going to lean the betting favorite here. I think my theme with this card is I'm taking the strikers. Okay, unless they are a Khabib-esque wrestler, I'm taking the striker, and I am going to take the leaning betting favorite here. Probably a toss-up, if I'm being honest, because I could see Montana doing a lot of wrestling. But talk to me, my man. Are we on the same page here, or are you taking this underdog, slightly underdog, in a Montana De La Rosa?
Well, I got to tell you, I like your breakdown, but I am feeling a little bit of post. I kind of like Montana De La Rosa in this one, as you may have suspected, my brother. Look, her opponent is the striker. You know I'm a big Muay Thai guy, but I think Montana De La Rosa is a live dog in this one. Sitting at plus 120. I'm not sprinkling any money on her this week, folks. I'm just going to call a spade here. But I do think that she could get it done. The reason that I see that or say that is her opponent's takedown defense is 74%, which, you know, not terrible, but she gets taken down 1 out of every 4 times her opponent shoots on her. And I think Montana has the gas tank to do that. And if Montana gets her down and gets on top of her, man, could be a rough night. From a betting perspective, though, plus 120 is not sweet enough for your boy to sprinkle anything on it. So I'm going to stay the F away from it. And I'm just going to possibly put an early shot bet on that for next week's episode, maybe at best.
I respect it.
She did lose to Andrea Lee twice. Fun fact, I worked with Andrea Lee at my first restaurant job back in Bossier City, Louisiana. So got a soft spot there. And you'll see that at the very end of the show when you see my bets, probably. So with that being said, speaking of bets, I can't tell you one young man I'll be betting on, folks. His name is Charles Johnson, and he's always down to get it on, son. And he's coming in this weekend against a man named Ramazanbek Timirov. And look, Timirov is an absolute beast, right? The guy does have a puncher's chance in every sense of the word. Coming in at 18-3 against a 17-6 Charles Johnson, and fighting out of Uzbekistan, which there's been a very obvious push from the UFC with these Uzbekistani fighters. Energy got a tough match with this Uzbekistani. I'm taking Energy by KO. Leroy, that is why I say you are the man, the myth, the legend. Let's go. Love that. I'm also taking Charles Johnson. I don't know if I'm bullish enough to take him by KO, but hell, brother, I'll be honest with you. I took him by money line days ago. And unfortunately for all you folks that are watching live, he's sitting at minus 125 now, so maybe we should have done the show as soon as the live odds came out for just money line bets. Because I got him, I believe, at plus 170. Oh man. Either way, you'll see at the end of the show what odds we got him at, because I made sure I recorded those at those odds. Either way, even at minus 125, listen, folks, if you put 1 unit on him at minus 125, you'll get 1.8 units back. I think you'd be silly not to. The man is an absolute stud, and there's a reason that the odds have shifted, right? Because we put units on him. And so did a lot of other smart people, obviously. I think Charles is going to be too durable. He's going to be too slick on the feet. And also, I think the grappling is going to prove to be a problem. He always gets put against grapplers, so it makes him seem like just like he has defensive grappling, but he actually has really strong offensive grappling of his own. I can't wait to see it against his opponent, Timirov, on Saturday. Nano, tell me who you're rocking with and tell me why it is Energy.
For a few reasons, my brother. First off, great breakdown. Even though you got the Uzbekistani beard over there, I love that you're going with Energy and the American here, repping our soil, repping that.
Look, I have to explain the beard now because you called it out. This was a mistake. This was an accident. I was in a rush shaving the mustache because I hate having a mustache grow out at all, and I usually use the 5 guard, and I just thought that I grabbed the 5 guard, but it was the 3. And that's that's a pretty solid difference. So
it's a big difference. Oh yeah.
I started here and the damage is already done. You can't switch at that point. So here we are. I got plus 10 points to grappling this week, and I also have been telling all my friends, send your son 3 years Dagestan and forget.
I smashed your boy. That's it, my brother. And I think that's what Charles Energy Johnson is going to do. I think I'm taking him for a few reasons. Your breakdown was phenomenal. I think hard to argue against it there. The money's coming in. I mean, we got him at better odds, but since then they're going down. I think more and more people are seeing Energy is the place to be. Klaus the Boss here. If Johnson wins, then Jive needs to shave his hair into a skullet. That'd be fire. Oh boy. Ooh.
International Fight Week skullet.
Wig. Skull. That's not bad. I do got the flow going right now. I can do just about anything I want with this hair.
You'd have a mighty skullet.
It'd be wild. Oh, it'd be slanging and banging, man. That'd be fun. I'm not gonna fully commit, but I'm gonna entertain it. I'm entertaining now. Name your price. But listen, I think a good example of why I think Charles is going to win as well is what we saw last week. Okay. What we saw at Hobby Fanch and someone that has good defensive takedown defense, I should say, excuse me, and has good striking. That's a recipe for disaster for some of these young bucks who are a hype train, who have certainly shown to be a guy, to be a dog. But Charles Energy's got that inner dog in him. Okay. He's a junkyard dog, my brother. He's been in the octagon longer. Although, listen, this guy, Ramazan, his record and his pedigree over the last few years just knocking everybody out. I'm talking about the wrestling. He can knock some skulls now, okay? Some heads will roll. But not on Saturday, okay? I think Charles is going to edge out a close victory. It could be a split decision. Wouldn't be surprised. But I think our boy's going to outstrike him, outpoint him, and outclass him just a bit here. He's going to teach the young buck a lesson. And that's how I feel, man. I'm rocking with you. Let's go. Let's go Energy.
Let's go Energy, baby, all day. Matua with the comment of the day so far here. Olin Anomaly Tanaf.
Oh, that's fantastic.
That's fire. That's fire. Runner up, Olin Anamadov. Solid. Solid.
Anomaladov. Oh, good. I like those.
Oh, man. Lane said, damn it, I want to take Charles so bad. Convince me, please. Lane, did we convince you? Because let me tell you, I think at distance, he just outworks his opponent. And on the ground, I think he truly outworks his opponent. Somebody said it just a moment ago. Oh, Matua here, just spitting fire tonight. Matua said Timarov almost falls over when he misses a punch. What is that? What happens whenever someone has a solid single leg and you overwing a punch and they duck under you? That's easy picks, my friend. That's easy picks all night. Yeah,
and that's fine.
So let's go.
That's favoring our boy Charles. He's gonna be too slick on the feet. He's hard to read, and if Ramazan's overextending himself, Charles gonna look for that counter. That's what he does. 7-inch reach advantage as well for our boy. That's significant. That's a lot to deal with in there.
This is a fire comment from John Dong in the chat. Shout out John Dong real quick. Got to give this person some air horns. Who's a fighter you guys like to watch, but you feel a lot of others don't share the same opinion? For me, it's Jailton Almeida. First of all, great question. Second of all, great pick on Jailton Almeida. I think Jailton is an absolute stud that a lot of people should really give more respect to. Honestly, for me, it's Charles Johnson, man. I feel like a lot of people complain about this dude, but he's an exciting fighter who simply constantly gets paired against grapplers. And what are you supposed to do when you're constantly getting paired against grapplers other than grapple or defend the grappling? He's doing his job. And he's a great fighter. So I really enjoy watching him fight. There's definitely others that would come to mind if I actually took a moment to think about it. But top of mind, this card definitely has one, right? Charles Johnson is that guy.
Yeah, I love that pick. Definitely love that pick. Man. And Jailton as well. Jailton's a phenomenal pick. I think he's slowly becoming a guy, especially in a division that's slowly thinning out and maybe changing guard a little bit as well. Definitely a fun name. Ooh, for me personally, oh man, honestly, it's our boy Steve Garcia. That's somebody that first thing that comes to mind.
Oh, come on, bro! Everybody loves Garcia. What the hell?
He should be getting more.
Matua said Steve Garcia could use more love. Okay, all right. You guys are in unison here.
The people have spoken. Okay, he's not in the public limelight just yet, but his style is just nothing but pure violence, man. I love it.
Oh, you know who else? I'm gonna give you two names, folks. I'm gonna give you two names. Two names of people that not necessarily like others think fight boring, but if we're going with just people that fight very exciting fights that deserve more limelight, more love, I'm going to go with some little guys. All right. I'm going to go with a Timothy Elliott. All right. The only man I've ever seen throw like 6 flying knees back to back to back to back to back. I used to send you that .gif when we were working at Yelp back in the day. I don't know if you remember that. Just like does a barrel roll and does like 3 flying knees.
Hard to forget that one.
Smile and dial, baby. Just keep pumping out those flying knees. Oh, man, back in the day. And then the other person that comes to mind for me is Matt Danger Schnell, who actually came out of retirement for another fight, folks. Something that I personally am super stoked for. Love that guy. Have been watching him since the MTV Caged days and couldn't be happier for this fight. Now, moving into the next fight, we have a women's flyweight bout between Andrea KGB Lee coming in against JJ Aldrich. Andrea is coming in on back-to-back losses here. It's not been a fun ride for her for the last 5-6 fights here. And she, quite frankly, she very desperately needs to get back in the win column here. I'm going to keep it short and sweet. It's striker versus striker here. You've got a traditional kickboxer style striker in JJ versus more of the Muay Thai style striker in Andrea KGB Lee. Trying to cut out the bias that I know Andrea and have worked with her a very long time ago. I'm just going to say I'm riding with her. Unbiased pick. I think she's the better striker. I think if she's able to work in the knees and the clinch and work herself at distance, I don't think JJ should have much for her. The only way I see this going downhill is if JJ is able to land takedowns early on and sap the energy of Andrea. That's the only way I can see this going south. No pun intended. Nano, what you got, man?
Love it, my brother. Yeah, same exact token. I'll keep it short and sweet. I'm riding with our girl, Andrea KGB Lee. On a tough skid. She has the loss and gets to Montana De La Rosa most recently, we just talked about. But it was a split decision loss, so arguably could have won that. And MMA math would say JJ Aldrich beat Montana De La Rosa. She has a few more wins over the last couple of years. She's a little bit younger. And Tapology is suggesting that she's the heavy favorite here from a lot of us fans that are voting on it. So, and the odds suggested as well. Unfortunately, everything's going against our girl, Andrea, but I'm riding till the wheels fall off with her. But to your point, stylistically, both kind of meet each other in the middle there in terms of skill level and approach and abilities. But yeah, I guess I'm gonna stay away from it from a bettor's perspective because my heart wants KGB Lee to win, but my pockets are saying, "Hey, sit this one out, dog. It's a no for me, dog." So I wouldn't be surprised if JJ Aldrich wins and our boy Leroy is jumping for joy because apparently that's what he's really hoping for here. And to that, I say, well, then so be it, my brother. One of us will be drinking a shot next week.
Facts, brother. Facts. And fun facts. I definitely had to hammer a little bit of units. Maybe like I think I put 1.5 units across these last 2 fights between Andrea Lee and Charles Johnson, which of course you'll see the graphic at the end of the show if you stick around till then. If you're just now tuning in, or if you've been here, maybe you forgot to do it. Maybe it slipped your mind, right? Go ahead and hit that like button, comment if you're not already doing so, and subscribe, smash the bell for notifications, folks. You know the drill. CST Combat Sports Today. Let's go. We here. Hit them with the air horns, baby. Let's go.
Combat Sports. Let's go. Today and every day.
Oh, things you love to see, folks. Things you truly love to see. Moving into the next fight, right on into it, we have a men's featherweight bout between Danny Silva and Lucas Almeida. Man. I'm going to pass it to the co-host because I am curious to hear who you have in this one. I do have thoughts, but I'm a bit torn. I'll be honest with you.
I appreciate it, my brother. Yeah, listen, this is a fun one. This is a fun one. Two guys that may not be household names like we were talking about earlier. As John Dong posed the question, Danny Silva might be another guy here, okay? He's a guy coming up in the rankings, 28 years old. Like Leroy mentioned, Silva by whatever way he wants. I mean, this guy's nickname's El Puma. He's coming out of Santa Ana. He's the Ben favorite. He's 6 years younger than his opponent, Lucas Almeida, who is certainly a dog. And I think the feather on the cap and why I'm leaning Danny Silva, not just his ferocious style, but he did beat already at Josh Kulabau, who I do hold in high regard. I really, really like that kid. So the fact that Danny was able to beat him, come out victorious, even though it was a split decision, it's tough. He ain't no easy night in the park. I like what I'm seeing from Puma, man. I'm not going to go against the Ben favorite here. I'm not going to go against 86% of Tapology, shout out, and 2,000 of the picks there. Shout out the community. Shout out the fam. But let us know how you're feeling as well here in the chat. I mean, listen, maybe I'm silly, but I like the Cali kid. He's got a lot of skills. And for all those reasons, like I just mentioned, man, I'm going with the Ben favorite here. But you are the MMA anomaly. You know, I don't know if you got your Skip Bayless hat on, if you're going to be the contrarian, or are we riding in the same boat here? Talk to the people.
Well, I mean, you're doing a damn good job selling me on Danny El Puma Silva. I'll be honest with you, but I gotta try and sell you on my guy, Lucas Almeida. And you know I love to bet against the crowd here, folks. Look, let me tell you a little story about a man named Lucas Almeida, a man who, you know, wins over Timmy Kwamba. Not a noteworthy name. A win over Italo Trinidad. Not a great name. He wasn't even in the UFC, right? Jungle fight. But it was a guillotine choke in round number 1, 2 minutes and 7 seconds in. Nasty work. Made it look very easy and just sliced through the guard of the young man in front of him. Now, the things that stick out to me more so are actually his 3 losses, Nano. So his first loss prior to making it into the UFC was a loss on the Contender Series to Daniel fucking Zellhuber. Okay, so maybe you don't know that name if you're new to the sport, if you're a bit of a casual. But if you don't, I would say to probably go and check that out because that guy is an absolute stud. And then the other people he's lost to are Pat Sabatini. Now, if you don't know Pat Sabatini has wins over Nico Price, Alex Caceres, TJ Laramie, Herbert Burns. I mean, the list goes on. Dude's a grappling phenom. The only people that actually beat him in the UFC are someone named Diego Lopez. You might have heard of him. And Damon the Leech fucking Jackson. So that's one guy that has a win over the man in the UFC. The only other person that beat him in the UFC is Andre Touchy-Feely, which I know this last weekend left a bit of a bad taste in your mouth, but I would be regressed if I didn't mention that the dude is an absolute animal. Okay? And as Matua said, Zellhuber is a force. Yeah. You're damn right he is. A force to be reckoned with, an unstoppable force, an immovable force. So, look, Lucas Almeida coming off of a unanimous decision win over Timmy Kwamba, who, again, not a household name, right? But someone who does have knockout power. He made it into the UFC by getting a knockout in round number 2 over a Michael Stack in the Tough Enough series. And then, of course, went on to lose his only 2 UFC fights thus far. But I think this is going to be a lot closer fight than people are giving it credit for. That win over Josh Kulabau, who I know you said you hold in high respects, in high regards. My friend. It was a split. It was a close fight. Right? So I'm going with my guy, Lucas Almeida, and at dog odds, plus 180. Hell, I'm tempted to bet on him too, but I'm going to hold off for now for the time being. And I'm just going to tell you that is where my heart is at this given time. Yeah, I'm rocking with the dogs here tonight, baby.
I like it. Where my dog's at, I like it, man. Why not?
Let's go. And then moving into the next fight, it is a bantamweight bout between Douglas Silva de Andrade coming in against John Castenada. This is a fight that I'm very excited for a myriad of reasons. John Castenada is an absolutely fun fighter to watch. So is Douglas Silva de Andrade. Silva de Andrade, though, is fun to watch for different reasons. The man looks like a Marvel supervillain in every facet of the words. The way he fights, the way he moves, the looks on his face, he just constantly like is giving you this angry look like, I'm going to take your head home with me, boy. Like, he's a terrifying young man. Do we have something going on in the chat right here? Lane said, rolling with Almeida. ... Let's go, Lane. Matua said, Lane, don't roll with Almeida. Anakin said, she's doing it because he's Brazilian. Oh, yeah, Anakin. Lane uses nationality as criteria. Lane said, that's rich coming from you, Anakin. Matua, Rafael from last week, I can't forget. Oh, man. Anakin, Daggy bias puts my Brazilian bias to shame. I love this chat right now. This chat is absolutely incredible. Man. So, yeah. Going back to the fight here. 29-6-0 coming in against 21-7-0. I mean, on paper, this fight just says everything about this fight says it's going to be an absolute banger. Who do I think is going to win? God, it's really tough to bet against Castenada here. He has looked like a stud in just about every fight he's had in the UFC. And he's so unsuspecting, right? Nano, the sexy Mexi, like, he doesn't look like the guy that'll beat the hell out of you, but he's that guy. Very, very strong, like unsuspectingly so. And Nano, I got to tell you, this is the only time, at least in my time breaking down fights, that I've ever seen this before, where a fighter is perfectly well-rounded in their wins. 33% by knockout or TKO, 33% by sub, 33% by decision. Like, I rest my case. It's hard to bet against Sexy Mexi. I just think he gets it done anywhere it goes. I think it was Leroy that said it earlier about Silva. He said Silva by whatever way he wants. That's how I feel about John Castenada here. But I also think it's going to be a very fun fight. I don't think it's going to be an easy win for him. I just think it is going to be a win for him. Yeah. Leroy, I'm with you, brother. Casteneda is such a huge favorite. Be scared to go with Andrade. Plus 218? Or no, plus 245 for Douglas Silva de Andrade. Minus 305 for John Casteneda. So again, folks, if that didn't tell you anything, we won't be betting on this fight. I'm never going to take minus 305 odds unless it's in like a easy money parlay. And maybe I'll put one of those together later on. But not right now, folks. Right now, you're going to hear Nano break down this fight and tell you who the hell he has winning and why.
Appreciate it, my brother. And actually, a perfect comment came in here. Shout out Anakin MMA. Andrade's age, does that worry you? It does worry me. That's probably one of the bigger reasons why I'm fading our boy De Silva here, because him in his prime, I mean, even just as of a few years ago, dude's a savage, and he's still got that dog in him. Sometimes that never goes away, but when you start to lose a little bit of a step, and when you start to accumulate some losses on the back nine here, and when you're going up against a guy 6 years younger who, like you so elegantly put, is well-rounded, does not have a lot of blemishes. I mean, isn't perfect, but has all the skills, Sexy Mexi here does to be a problem in the division and continue to stack up some wins, coming off a tough loss here earlier last year, 24 against Daniel Marcos, who still undefeated, still a guy. So that, hasn't aged too badly here. I know he's motivated to wash his hands with that loss and get back in the winner's column. And no better way to do that than to beat a tough guy in Douglas Silva de Andrade, who, again, maybe if we could rewind the clock, or if we're in UFC or something and you can have a more prime version of Douglas, man, it may be a different story. But I think Sexy Mexi is going to be a step ahead on this one for sure. So I'm leaning the Ben favorite here. I'm riding with you.
Love it when we hive-mind it out, my friend. And with that being said, we move into a featherweight bout between Ricardo Ramos and Chepe Mariscal. machine gun Mariscal is a son of a bitch. He is definitely one of those guys that is just incredibly fun to watch fight. And I don't think this one even needs a super lengthy breakdown, if I'm being honest. I just think that Mariscal is better everywhere the fight goes. I know you usually go with the younger guy, and Ricardo Ramos is a beast, and he's the taller guy, and he's the longer guy. But again, I just think Chepe is a son of a bitch. And there's a reason that is he the heaviest favorite on the entire card? Correct me if I'm wrong. Oh my gosh, he is coming in at there's one higher than him. The next fight, actually. But Chepe is a minus 440 favorite, folks. Anakin saying Chepe by sub just maybe. Anakin, if you bet that, I got to see that ticket, my friend, when it cashes. But I'm staying away from this one like it's a landmine from a betting perspective. I think Chepe is going to be the stronger guy. I think he's going to be the more durable guy. And I think he is live to go out there and put out Ramos's lights. And that's the thing, right? Like we've seen Ramos get knocked out twice. We've seen him get submitted 3 times. I think he could definitely get this done inside the distance. And while you're doing your breakdown, I'm probably going to look at those odds.
There we go. I like it, my brother. I like it. Yeah, I mean, from an odd perspective, it's hard to bet on our boy Chepe, but that is certainly a guy who I think is going to win here. Okay, now I got to give our boy Ricardo Ramos his flowers. He does fight with Team Alpha Male, so I know he's going to be well coached. I know he's going to continue to develop, sharpen his skills. But the reality is with where he's at and kind of where he's been, just doesn't really give me a lot of things to be excited about. And really what I'm looking at is for a Ricardo, way back when. And it's hard to look back 4 or 5 years ago, but it's still relevant, and because to me, it's like, can you get over that hurdle? He gets a couple wins, gets onto a 4-fight win streak, but then he gets his chance against a Saeed or Magomedov. So how does he do? Loses, unfortunately. Stacks a few more wins, loses to Leron Murphy, a ranked guy at this stage. Get some wins, some losses, but then our boy Charles Auriordain, puts a stop to that win streak, and then gets guillotined again, back-to-back guillotine losses to another one here to Julian or Rosa. Beating Josh Kulabau was fantastic. You're getting on the right path. Again, like Lane's mentioning here in the comments, he's the alpha male, so there is definitely that. He definitely has a fighter's chance. Maybe the odds are not going to be as indicative as how close the fight may be. But you know what? Let's be honest here. Like, Chepe is that guy. He's got a lot of skills. If John Anik's listening, I know he'd be in the comments saying, I love me some Chepe. But listen, man, that's where my head's at. He's got all the skills, he being Chepe Mariscal. He's fun, he's swaggy, and he knows how to get the job done. He's not going to go out of he's not going to make any mistakes, is what I'm trying to say. So I'll leave it there. Let us know how you're feeling. Oh, before I sign it back to you, my brother, we got a couple more people in the chat. Let's go. It's a party.
Let's go, boys. We got S-Dogs MMA in the chat. S-Dogs MMA Talk. If you're not already subscribed, make sure you do that. Same with Crossover MMA. What up, fellas? See all the OGs in the chat. All the OGs are here. Everybody's present and accounted for, folks. You love to see it. Oh, man. I hope everybody's having a fantastic night. Nano, I have some bad news. They don't have any odds on Inside the Distance for that fight. So looks like I will be sticking to the original response that I'm avoiding this one like the plague, brother. I've switched from a landmine to the plague. It's gone up in severity. I'm staying away from it altogether. And with that being said, we're going to go ahead and move into the very next fight, which is taking place at the heavyweight division between former NFL player Austen Lane coming in against Mario Pinto. Of course, Austen Lane coming off of his first UFC win ever over Rebellis Despain. This one looks to be a very fun matchup. Austen Lane, if you feel so bullish to bet on him, is plus 410 right now. It's very tempting to even just maybe sprinkle a little like fifth of a unit in here. The man learned how to do takedowns and grappling. So big step up on him. The issue is he's going in there against a guy that's from, another neck of the woods, a guy who is very much more well-rounded than him. And honestly has a much better win-loss ratio, right? He's 9-0, undefeated. Man is an absolute psychopath, judging by his Tapology picture alone. 5 knockouts, 1 submission, 3 decisions. In his last 3, 2 out of 3 of those were knockout finishes. I am worried that Austen Lane is going to get slept here, and right on time with the comment, Lane gets slept. Well, that's why I'm not betting on this one, brother. Fade Lane at all costs. Yeah, I'm not betting on him by any means at all. Again, this is one of those that I'll probably just be staying away from. Yeah, I'm just going to avoid this one like the plague. No. I think Mario Pinto is going to come out here and get a knockout. Austen Lane has shown that he has a suspect chin. He does have takedown ability now, but I don't know that it's going to be enough, and I truly don't think it's going to be enough. Nano, how do you see this one playing out in the heavyweight division?
Yeah, I see it going the same way I think we're all thinking it's going to go, where it's going to be fireworks for as long as it lasts. These heavyweights typically don't have a lot of fight time in the octagon. And I'm leaning the young buck here. I'm leaning the Ben favorite. I'm leaning another potential guy here in the heavyweight division. I mean, this might be the shiny new toy here, y'all. We got a dude in Mario Pinto who is looking to be, I don't know. I don't want to say given the Dana White privilege here, but I'm surprised he got this kind of matchup. I'll say that. Like you mentioned already, the highest betting favorite, and I guess when you turn on the tape, it's easy to see. He's got some good skills. He moves really well for a heavyweight, and he does a good job of playing the game within the game. And I'm talking about the hand fighting, talking about the head movement, and just his ability to even do as simply as he did in his Dana White Contender Series debut, just a kind of a fading left hook with no jab to set it up, no setup shot, nothing. It was just kind of a sniper-esque. I'm responding, muscle memory kind of counter move there. I'm running out of compliments. I mean, the dude's a stud. He's got power in his hands. Again, that's the only chance we got to see him in the UFC. I think he's gonna beat the guy who's 11 years older than him. And what more can I say, my brother? I think Mario Pinto's gonna find a way to get it done. Mario, representing Portugal. Shout out Portugal. Let's go,
it's
baby.
Me, Mario.
And the Capitan in the chat. Shout out Capitan Rafucho. Perfect timing. Good to have you.
Capitan Rafucho, how you doing, brother? Hope you're doing well. And S-Dogs MMA, if the boys are live tonight, does this mean they're joining S-Dogs MMA Talk tomorrow? I mean, Nano has prior engagements, but maybe. Let me know what time. Send location. Brother, you must send me location. I am here. Matua said, do y'all think UFC commentators team are going to big up Austen Lane's football career as if Austen Lane was Lawrence Taylor type player? Absolutely that's going to happen. Absolutely, because why would
Lawrence Taylor? But yeah, I mean, at least as a football player. But yeah, they always do, right? They'll find a way to sneak in how he's a huge big athlete and he's explosive and he's able to compete at the highest level and blah blah blah. But he's going to be off against a guy who's just as big as him, looks just as good and strong, and he's probably going to be moving a little bit faster. So
this man has a former NFL career. He's going to be looking to utilize the explosive takedowns that he has. He has a hell of a blast double. I mean, he used it in the NFL, right, to tackle other grown men. Am I right?
Right you all, Paul. Right you all. That's my Bisbing. I don't know.
Oh, man. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be a fun night for the commentary team for sure. And with that being said, we move on into the next fight, folks. It is the start of the main card, and it is a welterweight bout between another undefeated young man, Danny Left-Handed God Barlow, coming in against Sam Patterson. Man. I think this is going to be a very, very fun fight. And I say that about a lot of fights, but I mean it. It's like when I say another beautiful day in paradise. I think I'm the only person that says that and actually means it. This one is going to be fun for one reason and one reason alone. Someone's getting knocked out, folks. You heard it here first, right? Someone is going down, and unfortunately, I think that someone is going to be Sam Patterson. I think Barlow, if you're going to bet him, look, folks, he's minus 310 right now. But if you wanted to bet him within the distance, or if you want to bet him rather by knockout, and to put that in perspective, he's had, 9 wins? Yeah, he's 9-0. 5 of those wins are by way of knockout. So, I mean, it's hard not to want to pick Danny Barlow by knockout. And gosh darn it, they're not giving us odds on it. I'm literally trying to look him up, but there's such a random hodgepodge on DraftKings Sportsbooks right now of the odds. So at the end of the show, if you're here for the bets, we might have to just take a little gander at underdogs for those finish lines, brother. But yeah, from that being said, who do I think wins? I think Danny Barlow, left hand to God. I think the nickname's going to fit him very well. I think he's going to land a strong left hand. I don't know why. I don't even think it's going to be a hook or an uppercut or anything crazy. Just going to be a straight, just classic, right down the pipe. And it's going to put Mr. Patterson on ice skates. Nano, am I being a crazy person here? Do you think Patterson stands a chance, or what are we thinking?
He definitely stands a chance. I mean, it's not like he is totally going to be overwhelmed here by Danny Barlow with his left hand to God, which probably will be the ultimate decision maker in this fight. It's all we've seen from Danny Barlow. I guess there is a scenario he could lose steam. We don't know, the pace Sam Patterson is going to present here and what the future is going to hold, pun intended there. That is his nickname. But listen, man, I mean, he's got back-to-back submission wins in the UFC. He did get KO'd against a Yanal Ashmuz, who's 6-0, who has some heavy hands. So I don't want to totally discredit Sam Patterson, but all in all, man, this is a fight with a clash of styles, right? I know, a little tongue twister there. Clash of styles in this fight, right? We got the boxer, we got the striker versus the ground game jiu-jitsu specialist. Danny can fall into a trap. He can maybe lose steam if Sam has a good game plan. But nah, man, I mentioned it in the beginning here for all 61 of you that may not have been here to start. Appreciate having you, but I'm leaning all the boxers here in this fight card. I'm going with the guys that know how to throw those chingazos, know how to mix them up. So give me that left-handed guard. Say that correctly. Danny Barlow. Tapology, shout out again, has him as betting favorite, which I don't know where they're getting their odds from. Who's your source is what I would ask. Tapology. But 82% of us and over 2,000 in the community there agree. So if you're riding with us, let us know. Give us a thumbs up. Or if you are riding Sam Patterson, you might be from Walford, England. You might be from the UK, and that's okay. But may not be your night Saturday. Look away is what I'll say. Ooh. And I'm out.
See this comment from S Dogs?
Let's see. I don't know what he said because I can't read.
Ooh, oh, that's how you take the power away.
Yeah, joke's on you, jerk. No,
got him.
Listen, man. Maybe one or two. And if we're talking read the book, not front to back. Like I read the front, I read the back, and a few pages.
You read the back cover.
I read the eulogy. I read the thesaurus.
I read the you googly.
I know that.
You know that? Oh man.
That's a fair call out.
That was a fair call out. That Ashmuz KO was brutal. Patterson was grappling with the ref. Hey, don't want to see one of those again. Leroy said, big fan of Sam Patterson. We had him on the show a while back. Always ride with fighters whom fuck with the Fight Week show. All right.
Ah, man. Why don't you lead with that?
I'm putting 5 units on him right now. Tab. No, I'm not. I'm not. But you know what? Maybe.
Are there any odds on there? I thought you said we could.
Well, I mean, we might just bring a little bit. It's plus 250 on Moneyline. Might do a fifth of a unit on him. If he fucks with the Fight Week show, you know.
Dog over. There you go.
Capitan Rafucho. Leroy. Crossover. That's right. The boys. Where is Valadizi Lane? That's true. Where is Valadizi? Sam Patterson has ability to get it to the floor? No. Not Tua. Oh, man. Is Jack still in the basement? S-Dogs. Come on, man. Don't bring that disrespect to the show, brother. What are you doing? What are you doing, man? What are you doing? Jeez Louise, this guy's funny. These guys are haters, I'm telling you. But I love them all the same. Dude, there's so many undefeated fighters on this card, and I didn't actually think about it until now. We got 3 undefeated fighters on this card. In the next fight, we have another undefeated fighter in the featherweight division. Undefeated fighter in the featherweight division. Say that 10 times fast. Sheesh. Named Hyder Amil. You might remember him from one of his recent fights where, of course, you saw him land like a 47-strike combo. I am exaggerating, but sheesh, it felt that way. He is coming in against a very game William Gomis. Nano, my freaking goodness, this is going to be one hell of a fight. But you know what? We've already been live for over 45 minutes. We haven't hydrated at all. We have over 60 people watching us right now. So, folks, listen, if you drink with us, raise up a shot. And if you don't, raise up a glass of water. You know, raise up whatever you raise up. But either way, we appreciate you for being here all the same. And cheers to you.
Appreciate you. Salud.
Oh, yeah. S-Doc said, take your top off for those subs, Nano.
Ooh-wee.
I mean, it would definitely get the extra subs. Oh.
Get the hair flowing. That's about all. I can roll up a sleeve. You want me to roll up a sleeve? Come on, baby. I'll tease you. Don't please you now. I'll please you, never tease you. Got to try a little tenderness. Sorry, let's get back on track here. 60
people seeing you culturally appropriate the Dagestani 10 strap. I've trained amongst them. Islam snapped this pinky in half every winter. It hurts because of him. I've earned the ability to rock this, okay, brother? And this was also an accident. I already told the people at the top of the show that we're here for it.
It was a Bob Ross happy accident, but we'll allow it.
It was definitely a happy accident. I painted some happy clouds on my face by accidentally grabbing the wrong size guard. And that's just simply what happened, folks. These things happen. These things happen. Speaking of things that happen, this featherweight bout is going to happen, and Nano is going to tell us what he thinks is going to happen now between Hyder Amil and William Gomis.
Oh, man, I think my boy from the Bay, my boy that shouts out California and shouts out San Francisco all the way to Vallejo, my boy Hyder Amil, the Hurricane. Whew, you feel the hurricane. I think he's a fight away to get it done, man. I'm taking this underdog on this one. I know it's not the popular pick, but listen, I've been riding with the favorites too long, okay? And if you thought I was going to come on here live in front of 66 people and bet against the Bay, you think I'm tripping? I ain't tripping. I know what I'm saying, man. This guy, Hyder Amil, has all the skills, okay? He's well-rounded. He's a good example of that new age fighter, even though he is 34 years old. I know you're thinking, y'all, we usually like the young bucks. You don't like this guy from Francois? Bonjour, au revoir, je revoir. I'm saying au revoir, okay? I'm saying au revoir. I just started rambling there. I apologize. Didn't mean to offend, okay? I say with all due respect.
And remember, he did say with all due respect.
I said with all due respect. Come on. I do declare. Now, I see why William Gomis, the Jaguar, is the betting favorite here. And I think it's going to boil down to the wrestling game, okay? Like my Dagestani brother here to the left of me can attest. He's probably going to have that heavy game plan. We talked about people's O's on this one. My boy Hyder Amil is 10-0, and that will not go. That is here to stay, okay? And he will make William Gomis lay like a jaguar, like a mink coat, right? Like a rug, like a throw mat. You know what I'm saying? Or just like a really cool, I don't know. It was like in Hercules. You kind of wear it like a robe almost, or like the Covenant. I'm getting a little out of sorts, but you get
like a lion's pelt.
There we go.
Oh my god, dude!
Like some snakeskin boots. He's wearing the jaguar. Okay. I hope he does not listen. He murdered the jaguar, and he will
This is the moment where the viewers realize like which one of us grew up in Louisiana and which one grew up in like California.
Yeah, I did say I remember the Bay. Okay.
He's all like when you watch the Hercules animated movie. I'm all like when you skin them and make a pelt out of their skin.
Like a Viking. Yes, absolutely.
I went hunting for the first time when I was 9.
I went 9 months ago for the first time. No, I'm just kidding. Like literally a year ago. So,
dude, let's go. I virtual pat on the back, brother. Let's fucking go.
I'm old. I've been on this planet for a long time. Okay, and, that's not. I've been.
We got a live bet happening in the chat right now. Matua said, "Lane, want to bet?" Yep. Amil still can lead to be. Wait, Amil still can lead to be taken. Amil's style can lead to be taken down. True.
Yeah.
Lord have mercy. What's the bet? Gomis doesn't get hit much? Oh, sorry. I thought that was Matua. I was like, how is that the bet?
Crossover jumping in here. You're absolutely right, man. The Jaguar is hard to catch.
He really doesn't get hit much. And that's probably why, jumping into the breakdown, that's probably why Gomis has so much of the Tapology votes, right? 2,052 people have voted on this already on Tapology.com. One of my favorite features is that the community can pick. And not only that, but you can go so far as to pick how you think they're going to win, right? So 76% out of 2,052 people that have voted think Gomis is going to win. 92.6 of those 76 people, 76% of people think he's going to do it by decision. Now, this is what's interesting. The 24% of people that think Amil is going to win, 60%, or 60.4 to be exact, so over half think that he's going to get it done by finish, by knockout, right? So, no. I'm gonna ask your expertise on this because at the end of the day, we're a team here, right? We're not betting against each other anymore. We did that, like I think the first year we did the parlay. These days we're just betting to bet and we're just having fun with it. And for the most part, like I feel like it's just me throwing darts at the board, and every now and then we'll agree on one, right? So let's see if we agree on one tonight. Throw two options at you because we're both riding Hyder Amil, it seems like. Fair to say. We got plus 164 money line for Hyder Amil. Okay. Or we could take either fighter to win and the fight to end in under 2.5 rounds at plus 180. Okay. I'm happy to ride the lower odds because I think Hyder's going to get it done. I'm not 100% convinced that he gets it done via finish, though.
Yeah.
I do like the likelihood of the finish, but probability terms, I think probability speaking, I would be willing to put like half a unit on Hyder if you want to match with a unit.
Let's do it.
Doing a unit on Hyder, baby. Plus 164. We're locking it in, baby. I love that one. I actually really like that bet. Look, Hyder in his last fight, he landed just a nasty combo. I would throw it up on the screen right now if I didn't think it'd get us canceled, right? But or DCMA, DMCA, whatever the hell the strike is called. I don't want it. But it was nasty as hell. 2025 is the year of fighters losing that O, said Crossover. You're not wrong, brother. You're not wrong. It has been a fact.
That's so pessimistic, man. You gotta be positive out there. We did see a few go last year, though, too. I mean, it's a trend. It's inevitable, right? Unless you're Khabib, it's inevitable.
I was gonna say, unless your name is Khabib Nurmagomedov, I mean, it's almost like what Thanos said, right? It's what's the word that I'm looking for? No, can you help me out? What is it?
Inevitable.
There it is.
Nice. So cool.
Yeah, it was perfect. So, yeah, man, we got to move into this next fight because it sounds like we are just agreeing in every way on this one. So we go forward into a lightweight bout between Nasrat Haqparast coming in against Esteban Ribovics. No. My goodness, I know we're both going to be riding the same guy on this one. So Let's just keep it going. Let's just keep it brief and tell us why you got Ribovics.
Oh man, it's really that Daniel Zellhuber win. Obviously, I mean, there's no doubt about it, right?
I knew we were going to say the same fucking shit.
I mean, it's fight of the year. I mean, this guy was absolutely a possessed man out there, you know. And I think, unfortunately for a Nasrat Haqparast, who is the underdog here coming in, it's just hard to make a case for him, for me at this point. I mean, and it's just one of those things where it just feels like if Esteban can keep the El Gringo, can keep that kind of pace for that long and be able to weather that kind of storm, and frankly, just be able to outbox somebody like a Daniel Zellhuber who was getting all the juice. I mean, Nasrat can definitely make it nasty, as Tyga once said back in early 2000s. In the sense that, the way he changes levels and the way he likes to grapple, get muddy, a little meats and potatoes for you. He's going to try to get Esteban off his game. He's going to try to keep his rhythm off, right? You don't want to fall into this sparring match-esque flow or this Muay Thai-esque flow where it's like, I hit you, you hit me. We're just trading back and forth, which will be fun, but I think we found out Esteban is that guy. But again, I mean, Nasrat, he possesses power. He can hurt you. I don't know. Yeah, I just don't think that he'll be able to get that definitive shot on an Esteban Ribovics, who again proved to have a tough chin, has some really, really good skills, uses all different limbs, like whether it's the strikes, the knees, the head kicks, like the boxing, obviously the elbows, like. He's a good representation, man, of this new school, even though Nasrat's only a year older than him. They're both 28, 29, respectively. Like, I'm talking like Nasrat's this old, grizzled guy, but, man, we've seen him in the UFC for a long time. So, kind of surprised we're getting him at dog odds. I wouldn't – maybe this is when you hedge a little bit. I ain't going to lie. Again, Nasrat is someone that's on a 4-fight win streak. He's been in the UFC. He's beat a Jared Gordon, a Jamie Malaki, a Lenny Quinones. I mean, these are notable names. Esteban does have one, but is that enough? I mean, are we leaning in the same direction here? And let us know how you're feeling, all 70 of you. Please, I mean, are we talking crazy right now? Oh, it looks like Lane's got Nasrat. Okay. Matua, you too? Matua, you too? Oh, no. He can crash the pocket and throw combos. Yeah, he does a really good job of changing levels. Once he gets in that phone booth, I mean, he can mix them up, man. But go turn on that Zellhuber fight again, my brother. I mean, you want to talk about being in a phone booth and knowing how to crash or just knowing how to handle the pocket. I think our boy Esteban, man, you may reconsider. Like you mentioned, a lot of tools here, but we'll agree to disagree. I like it. I like the juice. Got me reconsidering here. But I'm sticking to my guns. I'm going with Esteban, El Gringo.
Yeah, man. I'm going with Esteban as well. Esteban, I just think he is the better fighter. He's the faster fighter for sure. He's like you said, in that last fight against Zellhuber, he looked like greased lightning, right? No, like the way that he was moving in and out of the pocket, just it was nasty stuff, bro. It just gets me fucking fired up when I need to get pumped up. Oh, I go watch that fight. It was a good one, man. There's a reason that it was a fight of the year candidate. It was a fight of the year conversation in general, right? And there's a reason that this guy was part of that conversation. He came out there on fight night and shocked the world. And he looked so calm doing it, right? No, El Gringo, my God, my guy. I love an El Gringo. That's me. I'm one of those guys. That's my
me as well.
At least you speak the language, bro. I mean, not me. But that being said, yeah, I like our guy. I mean, I'm looking at the chat, and you guys are making me a worse degenerate. I'll be honest with you, because you're all saying I'll take Nasrat. So I'm like, let me look at Nasrat odds here. There's some good odds for Nasrat, right? Like you could get this guy for plus 235. No. It's tempting. It's real tempting, but I'm not going to do it. I just can't bring myself to do it. I'm already betting on a lot of dogs. And at this point, like I love movies as much as the next guy, but it's just not true, right? All dogs go to heaven. Not here. Not in the UFC, folks. Not today. So I'm not going to bet on like 18 dogs on a 12-fight card because, I mean, I'll find a way if I keep listening to the chat. We are going to go ahead and just keep on keeping on with Esteban Ribovics. I think he gets it done by knockout. I got a weird feeling that he just lands a 4 or 5 shot combo, something real nice, something real crispy, something to the body to make the hands drop. And then right after that, he goes to the top, pop, 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 pop. And it's just going to be a nice thing to see. And with that being said, we move into one of the weirdest co-main events of all time, folks. It is a middleweight bout between Cody, Brundage, and Julian, the Cuban Missile Crisis, Marquez. Now, folks, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, fight fans of all ages, you might remember Julian Marquez as something other than the Cuban Missile Crisis. You might remember him as the man who dropped the largest bag of all time in Miley effing Cyrus. He asked her to be his Valentine after a fight win, and then she responded on Twitter and said, "Shave my name and your chest hair, and I'm yours." And instead of shaving her name and his chest hair, which he's got plenty to do, he's got tons of chest hair, he responded with some dumb shit, and he dropped the bag. He fumbled the bag. Did Julian, the Cuban Missile Crisis, Marquez. Sucks to see. It sucks to see. I think that was by far the worst idea of a response that I've ever seen from a fighter after getting the chance of a lifetime. And I mean, Nano made the reference earlier, so I'm just going to complete the reference. With all due respect, Julian, that idea of a response wasn't worth a velvet painting of a whale and a dolphin getting it on. All right. I'm going to be honest with you here. That's just a fact. That's just a fact. So with that being said, I'm going with the dog here, folks. Even if only for that reason, we're going with Cody Brundage. All right. Now to add on to that with actual statistical data and reasoning, I don't know if you watched the media day, but Cody Brundage's daughter actually has a rare condition that is a muscular deteriorative condition. And he was tearing up at the media day saying like she's in fight camp right now too. She's going against this disease that she has. So he's fighting for more than just himself. You got to think those procedures, rehabbing for, I believe, a 6-year-old child, it's going to be very expensive because that's just simply the way that the healthcare system goes, unfortunately. So he's got a lot of extra motivation, does Cody Brundage. Julian Marquez, minus 130 favorite. I don't understand where or why that's warranted. And maybe Nano can talk some sense into me here. But I mean, at 9-5, you got a worse record than the 10-6 guy standing across from you. And with who you fought, you haven't fought as big of names, in my humble opinion. Oh, and by the way, you've lost 3 of your last 3. Meanwhile, standing across from you is a Cody Brundage who, inside of his last 3 fights, he got one of the biggest wins of his life. He slammed Zach Reese, earmuffs. I know that's your man crush. He slammed Zach Reese on his back and knocked him out, Nano. So you got to give this guy some respect. Am I a crazy person? Can you talk me off the ledge here, Nano?
I'm right there with you, my brother. I will Titanic you all day and twice on Sunday.
Let's go!
In the sense that I got your back, okay? That's what I'm saying, y'all. Don't get it twisted. But listen, man, I mean, Cody Brundage, kind of an interesting co-main event here. You hit the heartstrings with the personal note, obviously, like he mentioned in his press conference. He has a strong why, okay? He has a reason really to get in there and make an exciting fight and continue to win and get on track. He's 30 years old. When I'm looking at his opponent, yeah, I guess to your point, I'm surprised he's the dog. I'm looking at his opponent who's 4 years older, who his last win, Julian Marquez, his last win was back 3 years, 10 months ago. Rear naked choke submission win over Sam Alvey. I mean, my guy, can you imagine going through your entire high school career and not ever winning? I mean, each year you lost, and now you're coming back trying to, get on the in the winners column against a tough dude who is probably willing to die in a shield in Cody Brundage, and will literally slam you on your face if you cross him. Listen, man, I'm going with Cody Brundage here. I'm taking the dog. Shout out Lane in the comments. Cody, sad eye heart, sad eye smiley face emoji. Got to back him. You got to, right? I mean, how do you bet against him? I mean, a Julian Marquez, I will say if you're a sicko and you want to look at this from a betting perspective, I mean, I'm taking Cody money line, right? You got to rock with that. But maybe you want to sprinkle in a little Julian Marquez by finish because he's got 9 wins and they've all been by finish. So if he's going to do it, that's probably the way he's going to get it done. May not need the judges on this one's probably why it's co-main event. They knew it's going to be a firefight, I guess. It's going to be a banger, okay? That's what I'm trying to say, y'all. Cody Brundage is involved. The Cuban Missile Crisis, and I'm talking about Julian Marquez here, not the literal sense of that phrase. That is his nickname. Give me Cody Brundage, man. The dude repping Englewood up to no good up there in Colorado. Shout out.
Englewood up to no good. My guy. I love the references always, brother. Always love the references.
Yeah, a little out there. Some hit, some don't. I appreciate all y'all sticking around and enduring us. All 74 of you.
Let's go. Can we get 75? Can we get 100? Who knows? We have one more fight and a little bit of news to break, folks.
And a like in there while you're at it. I like it too. We'll take one.
Like two likes. Like it, unlike it, like it again. Throw a comment in there. After the show wraps, throw an actual comment instead of a live comment. That makes a huge difference. We'd appreciate it. And folks, real quick, before we do this last fight breakdown, there are over 60 of you on Twitter alone. Do us a huge favor. March on over to the YouTube at MMAnomaly. Hit the like, hit the comment, hit the subscribe. Smash that bell for notifications. Please and thank you. Sav Jelly saying good evening from Vegas.
Sin City.
Viva Las Vegas.
Viva. Man, I am jelly that you are in Las Vegas. Congrats.
She's there for karate combat.
Oh, sweet. Enjoy the events. That's amazing stuff.
I didn't realize it was in Vegas. Man.
That's cool. Right around yonder.
Man. What day and time is the just a layover headed to Denver? I was like, okay, it's not in Vegas. Cool. I was like, if it's in Vegas and you can sneak your boy in, I will drive. To Vegas right now. Denver, not so much. Not going to make that drive. But folks, speaking of a drive, we got to drive our way into the main event of the evening, folks. It is a flyweight bout between Manel Kape coming in against Asu Almabayev. Oh man. Let me tell you. Manel Kape, I just don't trust. Not enough whiskey drunk tonight. I love that. Let's go ahead and pour one up. You're right. Boom. Look at that. Hey. You love a little bottle flip action? I'll pour one up.
I'll join you.
You always do, my friend.
Big ups to Leroy on that one. We do need to get a little buzz on.
Let's go ahead and boom! Put it up on the screen there. This one is specifically for Leroy. We love you so much. We're always happy to see you in the chat. And I can't wait until the day where we can do one of these with you in person. Cheers, my friend. And by one of these with you in person, I mean one bottle of whiskey, not one shot. Yeah. Just want to clarify. No fake news.
Good clarification there.
So, no, my friend, my brother, my brethren. I took the lead on that last one. I'm going to let you take the lead on the breakdown here because I definitely have thoughts.
Well, I'll make sure to leave it mostly for you here. I will be the point guard, and I will make sure I dish it off to you down low here in the paint so you can get the bucket, my brother. I won't do too much of the heavy lifting, though, okay? Because the reality is I'm riding with the MMAnomaly Star Boy. I'm trying to do my weekend impression there. A little nasally, a little sick. I apologize. But I did see something interesting in the comments section here. Shout out Lane, bringing the pain. You know, Kape and Pinto parlay with the Portugal flag. Both of them are repping Portugal. So I do like that idea. That's a fun one. Maybe I'll have to chase with you there because I do think the Star Boy and the striking pedigree and his brashness and his ability to go out there and back it up as well. Let's not get it twisted. I mean, he does have a blemish. He did lose to Muhammad Mokaev. But it was a hell of a fight, man. Close loss. Wasn't able to get it done. Now, if you're a Nasu Almabayev, maybe you're looking at that tape and trying to take something away from it. But again, man, I mean, both these guys, like on paper, are pretty even keel. Manel is going to have a 3-inch reach advantage, which for his striking, that definitely helps him out. The way he moves, it's going to be hard for an Asu to get in there. So I think Manel's going to be saying, Asa, dude, I'm out of here. And good night. Because he's going to find a way to get it done. I don't think he's going to knock him out or anything, but I do think it's going to be a tough, gritty 5-rounder. But Manel, I think, will find a way to edge it out on the scorecard. Talk to us, though, my brother. I feel like, I feel like we're on the same page. I have a feeling you're thinking Manel as well, but I'm not going to speak for you. Let all 74 people here know how you're feeling. What are your thoughts? What is the breakdown?
Well, first things first, my friend. I'm going to be a little bit cheeky with my breakdown of my pick here right now. I'm not a big fan of Manel Kape, and that's why I often say he could be called Manel Flop. And when he's going against a man named Asu Almabayev, what I'm trying to tell the viewers is that the dog is always live, because we're looking at a guy who's sitting at plus 180. If you didn't sprinkle just a little bit on it, I'd probably call you crazy. Look, I'll stop rhyming. I'll jump off that pedestal. I just wanted to have a little fun with it, on my Dr. Seuss shit tonight. I am gonna tail that parlay though, that Portuguese parlay. I'm gotta do it. But even there, I don't believe in it. And that's why I'm just going to do a straight bet here on Asu Almabayev money line at plus 180. I think that he is the better fighter all across the board. I know if you look at Tapology, right? 1,155 people voted on this one. Fun fact, that's about 700 or 800 less than the fight we were talking about 3 or 4 fights before the main event, if that tells you which fights are the most exciting here. And 64 of them voted on Kape. Now, 62% of those people voted by decision and 36 by knockout. And I think all of them are wrong, because it's going to come down to Almabayev actually getting it done by decision. I think he's probably going to get a decision, but I could also see him sneakily working in a rear naked choke here. No, I truly believe that he can get a submission. I'm not going to bet by finish, but I think moneyline is a, I don't want to say a safe bet even, but I'll say a safe-ish bet, right? No. So with that being said, folks, these are the bets we discussed before the night. And by we, I mean, these are the bets that I put in. So here we go. Boom! We got Olin's UFC Fight Night bets all together. We got 3 units out the door to win 7.04 units back in the door. So we got Energy money line sitting at plus 110. They gave us Energy at plus odds. They made a mistake at the beginning of the week. I know Vegas. Whoever runs DraftKings Sportsbooks, they replaced him with a different guy this week. He got fired because they gave us Energy money line at plus odds. So I had to put a unit on that. 1 unit to win 2.1 back. And then after that, Asu Almabayev, like I said, plus 170. The dog is live. Had to put a half uni on him, baby, to win 1.35 back. And I mean, gosh, I'm skipping these beautiful graphics. Energy, the reason I put them, you can see there the graphic It's a heart with a heart rate and some flexing muscles. What is that indicating, folks? Not cardio, not heart, cardio. He's got to win this fight by using and utilizing his weaponized cardio. He has more heart than most fighters in the UFC these days. Gosh darn it, you love to see it. And he's got cardio, again, more cardio than most fighters these days. You love to see it. Almabayev has to do exactly what I said before. He has so many rear naked chokes in his belt, under his belt, and he has to do exactly that in this fight against his opponent in Manel, all cap cop. He's got to be a boa constrictor and wrap himself around his opponent and just suffocate the life out of him. And then after that, who's making these graphics, said Leroy? It's your boy, MMAnomaly. All the graphics you see on the show are all me, my friend. You know what I'm saying? I really appreciate you giving me the compliment. It just means the world to me. Cody Brundage. I mean, he's coming off that slam knockout win. I mean, not coming off of it, but that's his last win. And I'd love to see something like that again. So what did I do? Had to do a powerbomb. Come on, baby. Is that RKO hitting the powerbomb on John Cena? I don't know. You don't know. We don't know. But either way, we love to see it. Hit that slam KO, baby boy. And then KGB Lee. I simply used a very basic silhouette of a girl doing Muay Thai because that's what I hope to see on Saturday afternoon is a very basic silhouette of a girl doing Muay Thai against her opponent in JJ Aldrich. And if she does that, she's going to cash a half unit into 1.35. And just in case I skipped it, 1 unit into 2.24 for Cody Brundage, folks. That was 7 little cashings there. Let's see. Here was Dixon Sider said, "Oh, and I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but it spelled Cody Brundage." Oh man, Dixon Sider, you know you're one of my favorite people in the chat, but I'm here to tell you, my friend, my family, we have made you either like fighters that you didn't like prior to a fight, or hate fighters that you loved before a fight. And all because we got it right. Dixon Sider, I know you're going to be a believer come Sunday. And I can't wait because I know it's going to be a fun day. I can't stop rhyming at this point, man. I think we need to do another shot or something. Jeez Louise, what's happening?
Flowing. And you know, Dixon Sider, I mean, if that's Cody's new spelling of his name, I don't even want to see it try to spell Julian's name, okay? Mr. Marquez over there, because if he's a bomb, then what the heck is Julian, all right? It's levels in this game, man. But we appreciate having it as always. It's a love-hate thing. We agree to disagree, right? But we're right. We're still riding with our guy Cody. Don't get it twisted now.
I mean, we're always riding for our guy Cody. Come on. I actually am a big Cody Brundage fan. I just think he's a really strong fighter. He's had a tough run, and he's not been given any handouts. Now, Nano, we finished the entire card in an hour and 18 minutes. We usually do these for like 2 hours. We obviously have a little bit of run over time. We're not going to take the whole 2 hours here, obviously, folks. We're not trying to waste any time. We're all about that killer, no filler. But I would be remiss if I didn't actually mention the fact of. Folks, you saw it. We have some breaking news here, folks. We're going to go over a couple of fights, a few fights, actually. We have had a handful of amazing fights announced in the last 24 hours. I mean, more so in the last like 5 hours, right? More than anything, I wanted to pick Nano's brain on 3 fights. Okay, real quick. So, Nano, Justin Gaethje got a replacement today.
Thank goodness. I needed that for the
Thank
fantasy.
goodness.
And the
yeah, I knew you'd want to talk
fight.
about this one.
Come on, baby. I was ready.
Oh, baby.
I was ready. The breaking news couldn't have came at a better time. I was ready. No prompter needed here. Listen, man, Justin Gaethje's the man, okay? The original king of violence, the guy with I'm pretty sure the most bonuses, unless it's Charles Olives, Du Bronx Oliveira. But listen, man, this guy brings nothing but pain. And I was in Mexico in San Miguel de Allende, the place I got married to my wife, which early happy birthday shout out to her. We'll find time to celebrate tomorrow. Excited. Actually, and it's, on the other side of the world, it's already her birthday. So cheers to that. But listen, man, Justin and Fazeev too, okay? Y'all need to go back and watch number 1. It was chef's kiss. I mentioned Mexico because I remember watching it as we're on our way out, hitting the city, and I'm streaming it on my phone, as I typically do, like a degenerate. But I couldn't get my eye off it. It was an absolute banger. I can't wait to watch it again. Let's go. Run it back. I think I'm more excited about this matchup than, obviously, I do love seeing Dan Hooker get in there and scrap, but this matchup specifically, man, I mean, it's going to be absolute fireworks and a lot of scoring for my fantasy. So let's go. How about you, brother? How you feeling about it?
I'm feeling very excited about it. I can't help feeling that Justin Gaethje gets the win here. Early picks, I think he's going to land leg kicks early. He's going to look to break the movement of Fazeev. And Fazeev, with all due respect, and I am saying with all due respect, is nothing without his leg movement and his movement in general. Let's see what the chat's saying here. Wait a minute. Has he been a guest on the show? Is that why the Brundage clays? You're hella funny. No, he is not. But I'd love to have him on the show. He just seems like a cool dude. He seems like a good dude. Lane, okay, Lane. Amil versus Matua, Gomis, and 15 large handshake. Love it. Does anyone have a yarmulke that John Silva can wear to the cage first? A yarmulke.
You're sick. You're sicko. You're a sicko.
Oh my god, bro. Oh, did you see how red my face turned instantaneously? That was hilarious. That was incredible once I realized what you were saying. Goodness. Oh man.
You are just
digitally shake my hand, Lane. Lane did it, folks. You heard it here. It is the MMAnomaly Show official. It's happening. So Matua laid the stakes here. Amil versus Matua. Gomis and 15 large. All right.
Might have meant $, I'm assuming, potentially, but we get that.
I mean, Lane has Amil. Matua has Gomis. They said $15 earlier in the chat.
Yep.
So 15 large, baby.
Those are large ones.
They have officially shook hands virtually. Dix Insider said John Silva is going to deliver Bryce with some CTE like it's $5,000 stimulus check from Uncle Don. My God, Dix Insider.
A lot to take in.
I almost want to have you on the show for a segment. I just feel like it would be money in the bank.
We'll demonetize that episode, but definitely come on.
We need to have Dixon on before we get monetized. That's the trick.
Fair.
At this point, we're just doing it for fun. So Dixon, come on a show. We'd love to have you. Now, Nano, I'm going to pour up a shot of whiskey for this next one because I would be a douchebag if I didn't. And with that being said, I'm going to give you one more hint as to which fight I could possibly be talking about the announcement of. The only thing that I could do to make this more authentic and official in us talking about this fight, Nano, is if I were to spark up a cigarette and smoke that with this shot of whiskey. Can you guess which fighter I'm talking about here? Cigarettes and whiskey?
Oh. Are we talking? Well, we're talking about.
I'll give you a hint. I'll give you a hint. He's not on my fantasy team, and I was upset when Leroy drafted him.
Oh. Ooh, is it a Sean Strickland? Am I tripping?
Wait, did he actually? Who actually? Now I need to make sure who got him.
Sorry, man. I'm sorry.
Oh no, it was actually you. It was you who drafted him, you son of a bitch. Carlos Prates.
Oh, dude. Damn, you're right.
So you haven't seen that fight announcement. That makes it even better. Cheers, folks, to a real reason to take one final shot for the show. Cheers to you. There's over 80 of you watching right now. Like, comment, subscribe, smash that bell for notifications. And if you drink with us. Nato's already taking a sip. Let's go.
I know. I was like, oh, I'm ready. Trying to get it over with. Salute. Appreciate y'all. Let's have a good week. Rest of our week here. And let's have a good fight night Saturday. Let's do better than Nottingham Forest did. Shout out Leroy. And I'm
Hey, okay? Don't read that. Don't fucking read that. Why would you read that?
You didn't put it on the screen. You didn't put it on the screen. You must have overlooked it.
Lick my balls.
I had to get you.
Yeah.
I had to make sure no comment left behind, my brother. You know the policy.
And I love the fake news in the chat. Lads, not a word about the disappointing performance from Nottingham Forest today. I was expecting a 5-0 whooping over Austen. Arsenal. Yeah, no. I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting a 1-0 or maybe like a 2-1 scoring. But I digress. It wasn't that, brother. It wasn't that. Instead, we got an upsetting 0-0 performance. Not one scoring. Not 1 point scored. I just combined the word score and point. Not one scoint. No, not one scoint. Not 1 point scored. So yeah, tough pickings. But we each got 1 point towards the rankings, the standings in Premier League, which is not what we wanted. We wanted to have the win points. We'll get those next time, folks. Now, with that being said, we got to get to the actual MMA comments. No. Oh God. Oh, Leroy. Really, Forrest? Hey, Lane. Don't talk shit. I'm a Forrest fan. I don't appreciate that. All right, Lane? I thought you were one of the good ones. Leroy said, Lane, I'm a Man United fan. I can say all the shit I want. Fair play. We get Prates and Silva on the Miami card. Let's fucking go. Just so we don't get Nano confused. They're not fighting each other.
Too many cigarettes and whiskey. Yeah, thank you for clarifying.
Just in case you haven't seen, Jeff, Hands of Steel Neal, is coming in against Carlos the Nightmare Prates. How do you see that fight going, Nano?
I mean, definitely fireworks. Definitely going to be a banger. Two southpaws going at it. I'm excited, but for as long as it lasts, I think Carlos is going to very methodically, because he doesn't really rush his fights at all. Like he'll just eventually find his mark and eventually get his opponent out of there. So I'm not expecting this, running out and demolition of a Jeff Neal. He's got Hands of Steel still. He's still a dog now. Let's not forget about that. So Carlos is going to have to be smart and be patient like he typically is. So a second or maybe third round finish just by an accumulation, I think is probably going to end up being what's happening. Will be probably the most likely path to victory, I should say, for my boy Carlos. And I need that for fantasy. I need him to get as much points, stack it up, and then get the third round finish there. And another bonus. And maybe some whiskey and maybe maybe drop the stogies. Maybe drop the stogies, my guy. Maybe just do Zins or something. How you feeling about it, brother?
I don't know if you saw my reaction. My reaction was to a comment that we skipped that I didn't realize. Dixon Cider, if you're still in the chat. I fucking hate you. Hear me out. Remember Jamahal Hill versus Paul Krieg? That was a sub that got called the TKO because of a broken arm. Right you are. Guess who this week has had a broken arm twice? Barlow. Patterson sub is a trap. It's TKO. Plus 1,200. If it hits, I'll come on the show next week.
Okay.
Oh, boy. I hate to admit it, but we are those kinds of degenerates, my friend. We're going to follow you. We're going to tell you. You said it's plus 1,200 for TKO. For Patterson, right? Oh my God. And Patterson was the one that went on the Fight Week show, right? We're doing it. Wait, where are you seeing these odds?
Who's your source?
Dixon Insider, where are you seeing these odds? Because I'm not seeing them on DraftKings.
Oh, okay. Let us know. Hit us offline. Okay, we got you. We'll pick up what you're throwing down.
Yeah, let us know where the heck you're seeing this, bro. Like do some hand signs. Do some signals, brother. Send us some smoke signals here. Because I'm also trying to hit these odds, bruv.
Yes, sir.
Even if it's on underdogs. And with that being said, folks, we have to talk about the last fight of the night that I just have to bring up. I've got to bring it up. Honestly, I have 3 fights that I'm trying to go back and forth between because there's 3 I want to talk about, but I'm trying to narrow it to 1. Yep, we're doing it. All right. We're going Dan Ige versus Sean Woodson at UFC 314 on my birthday, April 12th. No. The sniper, Sean Woodson, coming in against Dan 50K Ige. I got to be honest with you, my friend. I'm just going to give you a 15-second take on this. It's a bad matchup for Dan Ige. The sniper has the reach. The sniper has the... I just think, you know me, I'm biased when it comes to Muay Thai. I can't speak a whole lot on it other than just being biased and saying, Muay Thai beats everything. I think Muay Thai probably beats everything on that night.
Yeah, and he's got some slick boxing as well. I mean, he complements it really, really well. Like
they call it Thai boxing, brother.
Yeah, Thai boxing blend that he has is nasty with his size and frame. And I guess I am excited for him to finally get his shot here at the top 15, someone like the Dan 50K Ige. But it's not going to be no walk in the park, man. I mean, he's going to have to bring his A game. He's going to have to make weight, do all the right things. But Dan Ige is going to be willing to get in the pocket, and he can take a punch as well. So I'm not as sure if Sean Woodson can weather that kind of storm. This is going to be by far the biggest challenge in his career. At least in my opinion. I mean, he's beat some good guys. Don't get it twisted. I'm not trying to disrespect my boy Charles Ariordain. I hold those guys in high regard. Oh, shoot. I'm even looking at a win against our boy, Yusuf Zalal, back in 2021. I mean, my brother. Maybe that's why he's getting the nod here, because that resume certainly speaks for itself. It's just hard for me to root against my boy Dan Ige. But, yeah, like you mentioned, this matchup does not look good. But going 50K, you know, man. It's tough, though. I feel like Sean Woodson might win that one.
I know you're right about it.
I have a problem. I know
that. No, I definitely 1000% think that it hits. I think Sean the Sniper Woodson is exactly what the nickname claims. Right now, no, he's a sniper in every facet of the word. Leroy saying, I got Patterson KO, TKO, or DQ at plus 1200. Now, I'm gonna need to have you see if you're seeing different odds than me on that, and if you are, we should put a half unit on that, maybe. Yeah.
Never a bad time. I like sprinkling. I like hedging.
Actually, let's do a fifth unit on it. But either way, we're with him. Dixon Sider said on Bet Rivers and 365. Oh, Bet 365. I haven't used that one. Hoping for a better price on FanDuel. Maybe tomorrow. All right, we'll hold off. No, don't place it. We're gonna hold off. We wait till tomorrow, and maybe we see better odds. Folks, we have just under 100 of you at this point watching. Do us a favor, if you are one of the 70 plus watching on X or Twitter, whichever the fuck you call it. I don't think I've ever heard anybody actually call it X. Either way, if you call it X, we appreciate you. Come on over to YouTube at MMAnomaly and make sure you like, comment, subscribe, smash the bell for notifications, folks. You already know the drill. And look, if you're new here, if you're old here, if you're anywhere in between, the only thing that we ask you to do, even if you don't come on over to YouTube and like, comment, subscribe, smash the bell for notifications, all that stuff, the one thing that we really, 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 truly care about and ask that you do is this. It's a bit of a two-parter. I may have tricked you in the first half. I got you. Keep on going and keep on growing, folks. And we'll see you next episode.
You've been listening to the MMAnomaly Show. No filter. As you may have been able to tell, we dig the MMA, and our passion is to dive deep into the upcoming fights, give you our expert breakdowns, and help you make sense of all the chaos that is the fight game. We hope you've enjoyed the show. If you did, make sure to like, rate, and review. We'll be back soon, but in the meantime, make sure to find us on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch at MMAnomaly. Be cool, and we'll see you next time.